that time of year. And we make jokes about nestled in between, and, only Jim Nance can do that. But he says, welcome, my friends. It's a tournament like none other. It's the Masters. I'm Jim Nance. Well, actually, I probably got that. I think he only says, welcome, friends. I'm Jim Nance at the beginning of the broadcast. Well, doesn't look like we're going to get Grant Alstead with us today. Doesn't either look like we're going to have Steve Wilson of Speedway Digest join us. But we will be joined by Mo from the BS Sports Show here momentarily. Stand by, as they say in the biz. But so what we're going to do is we're going to regroup because we have fallen off the rails for about 10 minutes, but that's okay. We're back. My name's Tom Marquis, El Presidente. We'll be right back right here on the Balance Radio Network.
National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike,
dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.
When you don't go to geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
All right, and welcome back to The Balance. My name is Tom Marquis, El Presidente, not Jim Nance. But welcome aboard. And joining us now is Mo from the BS Sports Show and 1049 The Eagle. Welcome, my friend. How are you, sir? I'm trying to get to Jim Nance for it. I'm trying to get down. Trying to get it down. Nestled between in the west suburbs. So I thought, well, am I going to do the show in the Jim Nance voice all day? But it's the Masters weekend, so hey, you gotta pump it up a little bit. Have you had a chance to catch any of the rounds of the Masters this week, sir?
I have not, nor have I cared.
You mean you're not?
I care on Sunday.
That's when it matters. I mean, we know the answer to this question, but we ask it anyway. Is Tiger going to be there on Sunday? He's going to physically be there, obviously, but I mean, is he going to be there?
Yeah, I mean, physically, I mean, you hope for it. I mean, I think everybody in golf hopes for it. Everybody from CBS on down hopes they will be there on Sunday.
So what's Vegas talking about the Masters? I mean, who are they? I know you do a lot with that, and we rely on you on helping us make our wagers, if you will. I'm not putting any money on the Masters, but obviously it's a big money maker. Obviously it's a big thing for Vegas. What are the Vegas bookies saying about the Masters 2019?
Well, I mean, for today's round, you're looking at guys like Jason Day, Justin Harding. Tiger Woods was the outright favorite entering round 3. So if Tiger Woods could actually wind up winning the Masters, he'd wind up being like a 7-figure disaster for a lot of the sports books. So it could be huge. There's a lot riding on this Masters.
You know, in all fairness, Tiger Woods does enter the weekend with just one shot behind it. He's tied for 6th. And, you know, typically a lot of times they say historically in the first round or two, if you're in that 6th to 8th place, you're going to be in that 1st to 6th place on Sunday, and he's only one stroke back coming into the weekend. I mean, we all like to root for the hero, and it's kind of been the theme today. We just don't let our athletes age. We just don't let them get older, which segues us into the next conversation that we want to talk about, and that's the NBA playoffs. But one of the things that we saw happen this week was the retiring of Dwayne Wade, and I'm sure you've seen it by now, and that is his son introduced, and you're Miami Wade, you're whatever, my dad, Dwayne Wade. And that was just a real inspiring moment, and Dwayne Wade has had a great career. But then we also look at what has happened with LeBron James. We like to think he's still the little LeBron James that he was, you know, when everybody was talking about him at 17 years old and he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, you know, the biggest thing since Peanut Butter and Jelly came out of Akron, Ohio, the first high school basketball player that ESPN ever really covered. And he's not been in the playoffs. He's not missed the playoffs since Reggie Miller was in a uniform. And then you see Magic Johnson making the only thing he's been able to make disappear is himself. Magic Johnson saying goodbye, oversold, underdelivered. So we're seeing a lot of things happen, and I think it's just because we don't let the athletes age. I mean, we just don't let them get older. We always want them to be great. They always want to be great. Well, let's talk about that journey. Dwayne Wade decides to hang it up. Magic Johnson says goodbye. LeBron James goes to the Lakers and misses the playoffs and doesn't know how to handle it. What are our thoughts about storylines that we've seen this week in the NBA regarding great legendary players?
Well, you know, it's crazy that Magic Johnson can live with HIV for 27 years but couldn't last 9 months with LeBron James. So, I mean, that to me was that was a little crazy. But no, you know, I mean, I think, you know, LeBron, even though he's the best player in the world, was still able to live a little bit under the radar in Cleveland. You know, now you go to one of the big, you know, 3 franchises in the NBA, everything else is going to be scrutinized a little more. And, you know, and I think that this NBA playoffs, maybe I don't care as much about for the first time in a long time because there is no LeBron James. I think it's bad for the NBA if there is no LeBron in this playoffs because let's be honest, when LeBron plays, people tune in to watch. And, you know, for the first time in a long time, LeBron, you know, was injured. Think about LeBron over his career. How many times have you seen the guy out injured? And I think that was new for us this year. So I still think he's one of the top players in the world. I think he's got himself – the Lakers are a mess. I mean, they were a mess before he got there. They'll continue to be a mess. And I think that if he had a do-over right now, I think he'd still be in Cleveland.
So we had a conversation a little bit earlier with Matt Hicks from here in Indianapolis, and we were just talking about the Pacers and the Celtics, but we got on this conversation about LeBron James. And, you know, if I'm Kobe Bryant, right now I'm looking back and I'm like, hey, I'm looking pretty good, guys. Hey, there's another good player out there that nobody mentions me in conversation, but I'm probably one of the greatest players that ever took the court. My name is Kobe Bryant. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Kobe was great, but if you look at the end of Kobe's career, not so great. You know what I mean? So, Kobe was a fantastic athlete for a long time. Unfortunately, Kobe's career overlapped with Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and you know, it was just an unenviable spot for him. He came in though at a time when, you know, a new leader was needed, other than Allen Iverson, where a lot of people thought that he was the leader that really ghettoed up the NBA and took it in the wrong direction to where it took it away from the mainstream a little bit. So I think Kobe came at the right time. Kobe had some struggles. He switched numbers. So we were supposed to forget about Kobe Bryant, who was number 8, because that was a bad guy, and Kobe Bryant, who was 24, who was the toast of the town. But he had his struggles with Shaq, and then brought in Pau Gasol and a couple of those guys to try to fill that role. Kobe was a great player, but if I'm picking, starting my team with LeBron or Kobe, I'm taking LeBron all day long.
Sandwich in between those greats that we just talked about, and we mentioned him retiring, Dwayne Wade. Talk with us about his career and his decision to retire. I can't disagree with it. Maybe he had a few more years left in the tank. One would think that young Wade boy there has got a bright future. I think a lot of people have seen him play, his son, and I think he wants to spend some time help nurturing that relationship. Not quite like Father Ball, if you will. But Dwayne Wade retires, and talk with us about his career.
Well, I think, when you look back, D. Wade will be, remembered as a very good player. I don't know that how many championships he wins without either Shaquille O'Neal or, LeBron James. But, he's a guy who was a very good basketball player. He had great court vision, can pass the basketball very well, can shoot it. But I think he started to realize he didn't want to hang on like Vince Carter did for years and take a bench role. I think he wanted to try to go out. They don't have the farewell tour, go out on top, and he realized that his skills had diminished over the past few years, and decided to bow out gracefully. Decided not to hang on too long. It takes a special player for a guy like Vince Carter to take the role, going from being a superstar to being a role player and a bench player. We've seen a lot of guys who couldn't adapt to that role. Allen Iverson comes to mind. At the top of my mind, who couldn't adapt to taking that lesser role when you went from being a superstar, or Carmelo Anthony. So I think, Dwayne Wade, saw what was there and said, I'm going to go back home to Miami last year. I'm going to go out my way, and he did so. And I think it's a very fitting tribute not only to D. Wade, but then a guy like Dirk Nowitzki, who has been nothing but a star guy and a star player for 22 years in the NBA. And watching him get all choked up with these videos the other day was it brought a tear to my eye to watch it. He's another great guy that we're going to miss in the NBA. He's one of the first really big European players that people really thought, oh, there really is that class over there. And he kind of changed the game a little bit. You look at a 7-footer who can shoot the three. That that kind of changed it a little bit to the NBA that we see now. So I think Dirk Nowitzki definitely left his mark on the NBA.
Well, yeah, and he stayed with the Dallas Mavericks his entire career. That's unheard of,
yep.
And there's something to be said for loyalty. That's for sure. And so we go into the playoffs this weekend, and I know we're going to get off a little bit because tomorrow is when the Pacers play. But let's play the homer card real quickly here. You got the Pacers and the Celtics. I got optimism. Maybe it's the fan in me. Maybe it's the fact that I know that Marcus Smart is out. I know we don't have Oladipo. Maybe it crosses each other out, but I think the Pacers will struggle. I think it'll take 7 games to make it happen, but I think the Pacers advance. What are your thoughts?
I think where the Pacers are going to struggle is guarding Kyrie Irving. I think the Pacers can match up with the rest of the Celtics team pretty well. I think that the Pacers, without Victor Oladipo, are going to have a very hard time guarding Kyrie Irving. He's the best ball handler in the NBA. He's a guy who's quick and can definitely get his own shot. He can get to the rim real fast. So, guys like Miles Turner and Sabonis are going to have to really protect the rim because, let's be honest, we saw Kyrie Irving in those finals with LeBron James against the Warriors make the difference a lot of times in those games. So I think the Pacers are going to struggle guarding Kyrie Irving. I think they can make it close, but ultimately I think that the Celtics are going to figure it out come playoff time in advance.
All right, let's start with Game 1 today, 2:30. The Nets, the 76ers. 76er fans have been trusting the process, but the Nets finished over 500 for the first time since 2014. I would say they're going to put a pretty good challenge against the 76ers. But the 76ers tank for reasons, and here they are. They're in the playoffs. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that, obviously talent-wise, the 76ers have a much better team. But when you look at an actual, guys who play like a team and guys who are scrappy, and I think you look at this Nets team, and I think they're going to give the 76ers all kinds of problems. You look at this team and the Mets, and there's not a lot of names that maybe the average fan recognizes, but I think they're